Infrared film and the invisible spectrum, mapping the emotional frequency of natural landscapes. What if the world you see every day is not the full world? Not incomplete in detail, but incomplete in reality, because the human eye sees only a tiny portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. What we call reality is actually a narrow band of visible light, while countless other wavelengths surround us unseen. Today, we step beyond that limit, into the strange world of infrared film. For most of us, nature appears familiar. Green trees, blue skies, dark shadows, these colors feel natural because we have seen them our entire lives. But infrared photography reveals something unexpected, a completely different version of the same landscape. Using infrared-sensitive film and deep red filters, photographers capture light that normally remains invisible to human vision. The results can be astonishing. Green foliage often appears bright white or glowing red. Blue skies become dramatically dark. Clouds seem to float against nearly black backgrounds. Suddenly, an ordinary forest no longer feels ordinary. It becomes dreamlike, almost supernatural, a place that appears both familiar and strangely alien at the same time. But the power of infrared photography goes beyond visual effects. It affects us psychologically. Our brains rely on color to understand the world. Green suggests life, blue suggests sky and distance, brown suggests earth. These visual signals help us navigate reality without conscious effort. Infrared photography disrupts those expectations. When a forest appears white or crimson, the brain struggles to categorize what it sees. The image feels unsettling because it breaks the rules we unconsciously depend upon. Instead of understanding first and feeling later, we experience the opposite. We feel first, then try to understand. This emotional response is what makes infrared imagery so compelling. In a sense, infrared photography is not simply recording appearance. It is recording invisible relationships. Plants reflect infrared light differently depending on their biological activity. Leaves interact with energy in ways hidden from normal vision. The photograph begins to reveal patterns that exist beyond the limits of our eyes. The landscape becomes more than scenery. It becomes a map of hidden energy, a visual record of processes normally concealed from human perception. As familiar colors disappear, the world loses some of its certainty. Mountains become abstract shapes. Trees become luminous structures. Even a simple path through a forest can feel like a scene from another planet. And in that transformation, something important happens. We begin to realize how much of reality depends on interpretation. The world itself has not changed, only the way we are seeing it. Infrared photography reminds us that perception is never complete. Our eyes provide only one version of reality, one translation among many possibilities. There is also something deeply emotional about this experience. The brain constantly predicts what it expects to see. Infrared imagery breaks those predictions. When expectation fails, curiosity grows. The landscape becomes mysterious again. Wonder returns. Places we thought we knew suddenly feel new. Perhaps that is the greatest gift of infrared film. Not that it reveals a hidden world, but that it reminds us how little of the world we actually perceive. A forest photographed in infrared is not more real than the one we see every day. It is simply another layer of reality made visible. And that realization leaves us with a fascinating question. If so much exists beyond human vision, how much of reality remains invisible to us right now? Perhaps the world has always been far stranger, richer, and more beautiful than our eyes alone can ever reveal. And sometimes, seeing differently is enough to remind us that mystery still exists all around us.